Hello, and welcome to the Food Safety Workshop, part of the Student Organization Leadership Development Workshop Series. My name is Hope Gerlach, and I'm a Graduate Assistant in the Student Activities and Organizations Office. Before we get started today, I want to be sure to disclose that just because you watch this food safety YouTube video does not mean that you are certified to handle food at Purdue. However, it does mean that you will have a good base knowledge on how to safely plan and prepare food within a student organization context. From watching this webinar, students should learn how to fill out the food portion of an EPF. Also, students will learn proper food safety and certification information as evidenced by proper execution of an event that includes preparing and/or handling food at Purdue University. We'll start with, why is food safety important? Did you know the Center for Disease Control estimates that each year 1 in 6 Americans, or 48 million people, get sick and 128,000 are hospitalized from foodborne illness? What is foodborne illness and what causes it? You may have heard foodborne illness referred to as food poisoning or the stomach flu before, and I hope you've never experienced it. Over 40 different kinds of bacteria, viruses, parasites, and mold may occur in food that are harmful to humans, and they cause foodborne illness. Each year, 3,000 people die from foodborne illness. The great news is, foodborne illness is preventable. Today we'll discuss key ways to prevent foodborne illness, including how to control food time and temperature, how to practice proper hygiene techniques like hand washing, how to avoid cross-contamination, how to properly clean and sanitize food contact surfaces like tables, and finally, how to avoid other contaminants that may cause foodborne illness. So, you want to host a cookout or a student organization temporary event at Purdue? What do you need to know? The first thing you need to know is your food. There are several questions you should ask yourself when planning and preparing food. Keep in mind, what food am I preparing? Where am I going to prepare it at? Do I have a way to keep the cold food cold? Because cold food needs to be kept at 41 degrees Fahrenheit. Do I have a way to keep the hot foods hot? Hot foods need to be kept at 135 degrees Fahrenheit. Why do you need to know so much about your food? Well, it's important to know about your food because when some food is left out, it can become toxic faster than others. Understanding the differences in the foods you serve can help you decide your menu, so you can decide if you want to serve something easier, like something that's pre-packaged, or if you do want to take the risk and also the responsibility of serving hot or cold food that needs to be consistently kept at a specific temperature. Foods that have the potential to cause foodborne illness are called potentially hazardous foods. Now that you know a little bit about potentially hazardous food, you pick which of the shown foods is a potentially hazardous food. If you chose the mayonnaise, you're right. Mayonnaise has a high pH level and therefore it needs to be stored at a consistently cold temperature. We understand that you don't know all the safety concerns about all the foods in the world, so to help you out, we've listed some potentially hazardous foods. These foods include meat, potatoes, raw sprouts, pasta, rice, cheese, garlic and oil mixture, and sliced melons, to name a few. These foods need to be handled with extreme caution when served to people to avoid foodborne illness. So, we've discussed foods that spoil quickly and may cause foodborne illness, but what about allergies? Allergies are something that need to be taken very seriously when serving food. The foods listed below are discouraged when serving to a large group if you don't know exactly everyone's allergies. These foods include milk, eggs, fish, crustacean shellfish, tree nuts, peanuts, wheat, and soybeans. If you were to serve these foods, you would need to make sure that everyone attending the event and possibly eating the food knew that these ingredients were included in what you are serving. To keep food safe, you need to always make sure you are controlling for time and temperature. As we discussed earlier, hot foods need to be consistently held at 135 degrees Fahrenheit and cold foods need to be held at 41 degrees Fahrenheit. Use time as the control and don't leave your food out for longer than 4 hours. After 4 hours, the food should be discarded. Bacteria will multiply rapidly under favorable conditions. That's why it is important to minimize the amount of time that food is left out of temperature. Be sure to always practice proper hygiene techniques. Although it seems obvious, when preparing foods, make sure you wash your hands with soap and water prior to food preparation. Hand washing is not only important in maintaining proper hygiene, but also important in avoiding cross-contamination. Additionally, to avoid cross-contamination, it is important to use separate utensils when switching from raw to ready-to-eat food. This is particularly important when handling meat and vegetables. Finally, remember to properly clean and sanitize food contact surfaces, like tables. It's important to remember to sanitize food contact surfaces because it will help you eliminate the risk of foodborne illness and keep your food safe. Great! Now you have some foundational knowledge as to how to properly and safely serve food at a student organization event. Happy cooking to you! Always remember the key ways to prevent a foodborne illness to keep everyone at your event safe. Remember to register your student organization if you haven't already done so. Fortunately, all of your information is shared with BOZO and SAO at one time through our single online form on Boiler Link. The registration button will disappear while your application is pending until SAO approves it. Finally, remember to re-register within 3 weeks of any elections or officer changes. Although you have most likely seen these, the requirements for remaining an active organization are listed below. Your organization needs to be registered by September 16th with the organization profile up to date, including a photograph, current contact information, and meeting information. Your roster needs to be up to date with at least 5 members, and your executive board positions, along with their access within Boiler Link, needs to be identified. Finally, your organization needs to have completed 7 organization student leadership development workshops. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/Purdue Be Involved. For help promoting and marketing your events, follow us on Twitter and tweet at us at Purdue Be Involved. SAO hopes your student organization has a great and successful school year.